Welcome to BearZone. I'm Brittany Wiley.
And I'm Joe Buchanan. Coming up, UNC men's basketball played their final home game of the season, and we have the highlights.
And the Winter Olympics are almost over. We have the stories you might have missed.
We've got all that and more this week on BearZone. Don't go anywhere.
When you play a team with a 4-22 record, you should probably win. UNC's men's basketball team didn't disappoint Thursday, beating Northern Arizona 95-60 at Bank of Colorado Arena. The Bears picked up their largest conference win of the season, using a 51-23 second half to cruise past NAU. The two teams started off slow with only 11 points scored through the first 4 minutes of the game. That's when UNC started to heat up, going on an 11-4 run that helped them carry a 7-point lead into the locker room. Whatever head coach Jeff Linder said to the team at the break worked, as they jumped out to a 16-2 run to begin the second half. The Bears' lead got as high as 40 with 3 minutes left in the game. The Bears had 3 players in double figures, and freshman guard Jalen Sanders had a career game. He set career highs in 5 different categories, including his 24 points. UNC improved to 17-10 on the season, 8-6 in Big Sky play. They wrapped up the home portion of the regular season Saturday against Southern Utah. Speaking of that game, it was senior night at Bank of Colorado Arena, and 2 of those seniors led the Bears as they defeated Southern Utah 97-80. Seniors Andre Spite and Anthony Johnson turned in brilliant performances in the final home game of the season, combining for 65 of UNC's 97 points. Spite continued his strong play at home, coming within 1 point of tying his own school record of 41. The Bears started off slow for the second consecutive game, but Johnson's 17 in the first half propelled the team into the locker room with a 5-point lead. And again, UNC stormed out of the locker room, extending their lead to double digits within the first 2 minutes. The Bears led by as many as 17 in the second half, but SUU pulled within 11 with 5 minutes left. UNC held on for the rest of the game, sealing the victory. The Bears improved to 18-10 on the season, 9-6 in Big Sky play. They're on the road for the rest of the regular season before they head to Reno, Nevada for the Big Sky Conference Tournament, March 6th through the 10th.
Thursday, threes and Tiarna. All great things start with the letter T, right? Freshman Tiarna Clark scored a career-high 19 points to lead the UNC women's basketball team to an 85-63 win over Northern Arizona on Thursday. With super senior Savannah Scott out, Clark stepped into the starting lineup for the Bears and delivered. Clark scored 11 points, including a trio of threes to give the Bears the lead 16-14 at the end of the first. In the second quarter, Clark, Crystal Lager-Walker, and Kiana Williams extended the lead with a 13-4 run, allowing the Bears to go into the break up 36-28. After a silent first half, Savannah Smith woke up and took over for Northern Colorado by scoring 18 points in the third. Northern Colorado ran away with the game when they shot nearly 67% from the field, outscoring the Lumberjacks 39 for the quarter. UNC led comfortably going into the fourth, 66-37. Head coach Kami Etheridge called it one of the best quarters of the season. Northern Colorado demonstrated its depth in the final minutes with a 12 of 19 points coming from the bench in the fourth. So after the weekend, the Bears advanced to 12-3 with just 3 games left in the conference play. Northern Colorado returns home Saturday at 2 p.m. to take on North Dakota at the Bank of Colorado Arena. The final road trip for the women's basketball team proved to be successful as the Bears defeated the Southern Utah Thunderbirds 60-54 this past Saturday. This win is the 20th of the season for UNC, and they keep their #1 spot in the Big Sky Conference standings. The Bears got another standout performance from freshman guard Tiarna Clark, who put up 20 points and sank 4 three-pointers. Teammate Savannah Smith showed her stamina as she played all 40 minutes of the game and finished with 22 points, 3 steals, and 5 rebounds. Sophomore Bridget Hintz contributed 10 points for the Bears, scoring 8 of those in the second half. Both teams struggled to handle the ball as UNC had 17 turnovers and Southern Utah had 20. But the Bears took advantage by scoring 21 points off those turnovers. Southern Utah had a strong surge towards the end of the game, going on a 12-0 run and got within 4 got within 4 of the lead, but Tiarna Clark hit a couple of three-pointers to help the Bears extend their lead. UNC returns home for their final 3 home games of the season. They face the University of North Dakota at 2 p.m. on Saturday in the Bank of Colorado Arena.
The drought is finally over. Northern Colorado Wrestling ended its losing streak Friday night, defeating Utah Valley 22-20. The Bears took an early 6-0 lead in the first when Tyler Kinn pinned his opponent at 1 minute 42 seconds in the opening weight class. Extending the lead for the Bears, number 17 Keelan Torres won without stepping foot on the mat. The Wolverines forfeited the 165-pound weight class, giving UNC a 12-0 lead after just 2 matches. It wasn't until the 174-pound weight class that the Wolverines got on the board, winning a 12-3 major decision. Number 19 Dylan Gable was his usual self, winning a 6-1 decision, pushing UNC's lead over the Wolverines to 15-4. But the Wolverines answered back in the 197-pound weight class, cutting the Bears' lead in half at intermission. Out of the break, the Wolverines took their first lead of the night, 15-13, with a win from the heavyweight class. With the 2 clutch wins from Sean Cannon and number 25 Rico Montoya, the Bears got enough separation to hold off the Wolverines and pick up a 22-20 victory, despite taking 2 more losses. With the win, the Bears advanced to 2-5 in conference play, and Utah Valley falls to 4-4. Up next, Northern Colorado hosts Air Force at 3 p.m. Sunday, February 18th at Bank of Colorado Arena for the final duel of the season. We saw quite the snowstorm on Monday. What is the weekend going to bring, Michaela?
Hi, I'm meteorologist Michaela Lucero. Right now in Greeley, we're at 28 degrees with cloudy skies and winds at 5 miles per hour. Now there is a lot going on across the country right now. We have snow, ice, and rain in the middle of the country. We have snow and rain on the northeast side of the country and even more snow and rain in the northeast. But let's take a closer look at Colorado. There's a storm moving out to the northeast, but we do see some snow forming just to the west in Fort Collins. Hopefully that snow will bring over some moisture to Greeley and we'll see some snow maybe tomorrow afternoon. On Saturday, men's basketball heads to the University of North Dakota for a game at 2 p.m. They'll have 24-degree temperatures and they're expecting snow. Women's basketball then takes on the University of North Dakota, but they'll be here in Greeley. They'll have partly cloudy skies and temperatures at 34 degrees for the start of their game at 2 o'clock. Men and women's track head to the University of Northern Arizona for the Big Sky Indoor Championship. On Thursday and Saturday, they'll have sunny skies, but on Friday, it'll be snowy and temperatures will only be at 27 degrees. Men's tennis has a really busy weekend. On Friday, they'll be at Seattle University and it'll be snowing and only 38 degrees. For the rest of the weekend, it'll be rainy with temperatures in the 40s. With the Olympics coming to a close, we should keep an eye on the medal count. Norway's in first place with 35 medals, Germany with 25 medals, Canada in a close third with 24 medals, and the US, we're only at 21 medals. But the games are not over yet and we still have an opportunity to win some more medals. If you have the opportunity to go to any of these events this weekend, I'd love to see photos of them. Share them with me on social media and they might end up on next week's BearZone. Stay tuned.
From crazy wins to young athletes to broken records, Pyeongchang is one for the books. As far as records go, snowboarder Jamie Anderson won her 2nd Olympic gold medal in slopestyle and the 2nd gold for the U.S. in Korea. The gold made Anderson the first woman to win 2 Olympic golds in snowboarding. Figure skater and former Colorado Avalanche ice girl Mirai Nagasu became the first U.S. woman and 3rd woman in the history of the Winter Olympic Games to land a triple axel. Young athletes are also a hot topic at the Games. Women's snowboard halfpipe gold medalist Chloe Kim and men's slopestyle snowboarding gold medalist Red Gerard are both only 17 years old and the first Olympic medalists born this century. On the opposite end of the age scale, Norway's Axel Lund Svindal became the oldest alpine skier to win Olympic gold at age 35. Coloradan and athlete to watch Michaela Schifrin patiently waited her turn to compete after high winds delayed women's giant slalom and women's slalom multiple times. When she finally competed, Schifrin secured the gold in giant slalom. Closing ceremonies are only 3 days away, and the U.S. is on track for its lowest medal total in 20 years with just 21 so far, including the first gold for U.S. women's hockey in 20 years. Leading the way is Norway with 35 medals. Join us next week for a final recap of the 2018 Winter Olympic Games.
The Denver Nuggets are in the midst of a battle in the Western Conference playoff race. Spots 3 through 10 in the West are separated by just 4.5 games, with the Nuggets sitting in 6th place with a record of 32-26. In the Nuggets' last 12 games, the team is 9-3 and picked up impressive victories over the Thunder, Warriors, and Spurs. The Nuggets' ability to stick around in the Western Conference playoff race is an accomplishment in and of itself, as the team has been without 3-time All-Star Paul Millsap for the past 42 games. The Nuggets' $30 million man is close to returning to the court and just recently started to use the injured left wrist that caused him to miss the last 3 months. Millsap's rehab took a huge step forward during practice last week as he started to pass, dribble, and shoot using both hands. Paul Millsap's ability to use his left hand in every aspect of the game is the next big step for him to make his return back to the Nuggets lineup. Nuggets head coach Mike Malone said the team plans an early to mid-March return for Millsap and that doctors will reevaluate him when the team returns from the All-Star break. With the Nuggets taking on LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers twice to start the month of March, the earlier Millsap can return, the better. In 16 games this season, Millsap is averaging 15.3 points and 6.2 rebounds per game. Even in Millsap's absence, the Nuggets are still a top 10 offense in the NBA, but team's defense suffered without him. The Nuggets are one of the worst teams in the NBA in defense rating and really missed Millsap's ability to block shots and lead the team on the defensive end of the floor. The Nuggets start the back half of their season with a match up against the San Antonio Spurs Friday night at Pepsi Center. With the Western Conference playoff race tighter than ever, we'll have a weekly updates on BearZone to keep you posted about how the Nuggets do as they search for their first postseason appearance in 4 years.
Only 2 games back and he's already saving the day. Star center Nathan MacKinnon returned to the Avalanche lineup Sunday against the Oilers, but things didn't quite go his way. MacKinnon returned to the Avalanche lineup Sunday against the Edmonton Oilers after missing just over 2 weeks with an upper body injury. Fans expected the game to be all about MacKinnon, but Oilers captain Connor McDavid had other ideas. McDavid spoiled MacKinnon's return, picking up his second hat trick of the month in the Oilers' 4-2 win. Tuesday was what fans expected from the center. 3 minutes and 36 seconds into overtime against the Vancouver Canucks, MacKinnon scored an electrifying goal to lift the Avs over the Canucks 5-4. MacKinnon finished the game with 1 goal and 3 assists. The win advanced the Avs' record to 32-23-4. They return to Edmonton tonight, seeking revenge starting at 7 p.m.
And that is our show for tonight. Be sure to stay up to date on our Instagram and Twitter pages, BearZone UNCO, and on YouTube, Bear News 98.
Make sure to like us and to join us every week for BearZone. All sports, all the time for UNC Athletics. Good night.